welcome to Ewan's Workshop. Today I wanted to try something a little different. I wanted to do a video talking about my work in progress and actually talk about it, not just post some shorts. This will wind up in the short section, but it doesn't matter. Previously I did this Commissar, very simple conversion. It is a Kriegsman head from Tiny Legends. The pipe and the little rebreather apparatus on the back come with the head. Very simple. Everything else is just standard Commissar. I'm very happy with it. I like the new Commissar a lot. I like the conversion bit a lot, but when I bought it, it came with a second one. Since it came with a second head, I figured I would just do another conversion. But this time, I needed to change up the posing a little bit. See, the other one is just kind of mono pose. The only thing about it changed is the head. So this time I wanted to change the head's direction and also change find some other things to change. As of right now, the current work in progress, he is holding a Mauser broom handle and the head is tilted to the side, which isn't some major feat in terms of conversion, but was surprisingly tricky. Obviously, the arm is being held up by green stuff. There's some green stuff right in his neck. There's some green stuff holding on the wiring, the tubing to the back of the rebreather. It's kind of harder to see, but it is there. And this is, I kind of want to just talk about some of my difficulties with this and just how this came about. I actually got the Mauser broom handle. I wanted the idea of them using like a older World War I or II style gun. Thought it'd be a fun change of pace. I got the Mauser broom handle from Pulp Alley. It actually came with a couple other weapons as well. Kind of jostling around in there. There's like a Tommy gun and a shotgun. I'll probably use those for something in the future. But effectively, it's a pewter Mauser broom handle. And the only problem with it was that it is a right-handed weapon, and in his right hand is power sword. So we came to a problem of like the fingers. If I just did a conversion at the wrist, then he would have two right hands, and he didn't want that. So I kind of had to lop the handle of the Mauser off, and I had to lop everything but the handle of the bolt pistol off to get this to fit. Never really worked with pewter before. It's a bit messy. It's not hard to cut, but it's a bit messy. It took a lot of like cleanup work. I had to lift the arm up to give it a different pose. I'll use some green stuff to hold it in place. It doesn't look great. I might try reworking it a little bit. But when it's all black, it shouldn't really be noticeable. The only other thing was tilting the head so that he's looking where he's, aiming his gun. And that kind of came with a challenge because the way the neck is set up, this collar is a separate piece, and it required me to green stuff the neck in place. It also required me to chop parts of the neck off. It also required me to shorten up this hose. So the hose that leads to this backpack is much longer. I can grab the cut out my arm. The hose that leads to the backpack is much longer. If you look on the original one that I did, it's a much longer hose. It's meant to just sit where the default spot for the head is supposed to be. And since I'm turning the head, I needed to shorten it. So it was a lot of back and forth, fiddling, refiddling, cutting, stitching, until I got to a point where it's touching the mask and touching the back rebreather, and now they're held together. Green stuff, a little bit of glue too, just because it's such a very thin little hold. It won't hold well, so hopefully the glue will also help to keep it in place. It's not the biggest conversion or the most important one. I also want to do something a little bit different with the base, as the original one is just the bits that come in the Commissar box. It's this rocky terrain on top of a base with some mud on it. So I had a different base just kind of lying around. It's kind of hard to tell at this point because I've covered it in mud and other objects, but it's like the floor of a temple. And I've covered it in mud. I've put these sprue bits on it that I'm going to try to paint like bricks. I've put different textures on it. I still might put some more textures on it, like some sand, like really small grains, or in this case I don't have sand. I will use snow from Citadel from Army Painter, because I mean, this whole thing is going to get primed black, so it'll look like sand anyway. It's cut out hand. It's just some fun ideas I have, some stuff I'm working on, just to have another commissar with a different pose. But that's it. It's nothing big. It's nothing mind-blowing. Just doing some hobbying, and I figured maybe I'd talk a little bit about my process if it helps anyone connect the dots or figure something out. Anyway, I intend to put a few more of these up with work in progress as they go along. I cannot promise they will be step by step. If that becomes something that people are more interested in or whatever, I guess let me know. But for me, the process of stopping every time I add a new color or every time I start something isn't super conductive. So I typically, there's a good chance the next time you see this, it'll be like completely base coated, and then probably after that it'll probably be done. But I felt like at least something in the early stages where you could see, you know, where it's at, what the ideas are, what's coming along, was a better step than just the finished product. It's a step in the right direction. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Jotun's Workshop. Have a wonderful day.